You know, the craziest thing about the Cowboys, we always in the news, right? Whether it's good or bad. And then there's always a good situation that this could happen and that could happen, or this need to happen or that need to happen. But strategies are always there too. Strategies and what we should do in this free agency. I'm only going to talk on the side of the defensive side of the ball, if that's okay with everybody. Two guys, and I said this before, that we really need to take a focal point on the defensive side of the ball, on the defensive back part of it, basically. Trevon Diggs, right? Donovan Wilson. I know that Xavier Woods, we don't know whether or not he's going to get 25% or 50%. We don't know. Cheeto Woozier, a lot of people look at his ball skills and things like that and say, okay, he's not going to be a lockdown guy, but he's serviceable at best. And and he's one of my favorite DBs out there. But over the course of the years, it just seems as if though he falls right into that category. Really not a major game where you can really look back on and say, okay, he was a difference maker in that particular game. Not one, but he's solid. Now, there's news out there that Maurice Canady may be a situation where the Cowboys may want to give him an extra chance to be the starting cornerback. Yeah, Maurice Canady, y'all remember him. He opted out last season. May have been one of the smarter guys out there to not sully and denigrate his name by sitting out. And we all know that health is a major role, especially in the NFL. So those are the options there. And of course, Jordan Lewis, and Anthony Brown, he's office furniture. He's not going anywhere. But Jordan Lewis, I don't know. We don't know about what they're going to do with that. My thing is, you can argue the fact that Jordan Lewis as well as Cheeto Woozier are in the same lane. Not going to make too much of a difference, whether it be catastrophic if they're gone, basically. And I'm not trying to sully or denigrate those boys. I like them, I like what they bring to the table, but I think that we can get a little bit better in those categories. Now, who's out there on the market? Let's look at it from this aspect of it. Regardless of who's out there, we're going to have to do this. We're going to have to figure this thing out. If you're going to go with the philosophy of getting an older guy from the free agency pool to bring in and say, okay, all right, can you help this team? Or you can look at it and say, okay, in this draft, I'm going to get somebody that got a high ceiling, somebody that we can groom, new broom. We can maybe teach them, the young tree. You can bend a young tree when it's young, but when that tree get old, when you bend it, it breaks, right? You can look at it in that way. The Jones family, we don't know their philosophy. We can only go by what the historic data shows. And the historic data shows that the Cowboys, the Jones family and beyond, they like to do this. They like to re-sign their guys, and they say, hey, we did our job. We signed some free agencies. Let me know if I'm wrong. Let me know if I'm wrong. So let's plan this thing out as far as the structuring or the structure. Cheeto Woozier, he would be one of your cornerbacks. Jordan Lewis, he will be one of your defensive backs as well. Oh, Donovan Wilson, he's one of your defensive backs. Trevon Diggs, he's one of your defensive back. And out of the groupings, the guy that's left out is Xavier Woods. Let's say the Cowboys, with this particular strategy, they look into the hearts of the hearts and they say, hey, for many of years, since Woody left, we had no spark at safety. Let's say they sink their teeth into Justin Simmons. That would be an ultimate move, to go ahead and sink your teeth in somebody that you can say to yourself that will help out Trevon Diggs, right? Will help out Donovan Wilson, and will also help out either Jordan Lewis if he stays on his team and Cheeto Woozier, somebody that can complement everybody. That would be a better strategy. Or the Marcus Mays kid That's another guy that I think that it can help out this team down the line or what have you. Now, in the draft, there is a level of unknown. These guys, of course, 2020 tape, we can look at 2020 tape and be all in all about these guys, but 9 times out of 10, people were playing handicap, meaning that there was not a lot of training camp, even in the college aspect of it. The competition was not up to snuff because of the pandemic or what have you. So really, you don't know what you're getting out of the 2020 tape. Now, some 2020 tape helped elevate certain players, right? But from a defensive category, to get a true feel of everything, you got to look at 2019 and 2018 tape. Who is the best cornerback during that time frame? Oh, Caleb, right? Caleb Farley. If you go out there and grab him in the first round draft pick, he got to be right around that area. Or the J.C. Horn, it got to be right around that area. 10 may be too rich for those guys, but the only strategy that I feel that will probably work, if somebody want to move up to that 10th spot, not necessarily giving you a king's ransom, and you know I'm with the BPA philosophy, but if somebody want to move up to that spot and give you a little something for that spot, and you fool around and be in the 16-ish, maybe the 22nd, 23rd-ish range, then you go out there and you grab that best player available. Who do you feel that's better on that particular spot, whether it be a Caleb, whether it be a J.C. Horn? And it's somebody that's going to drop. Somebody's going to drop. That's the reality of it, Cowboy Nation. So we going to have to figure out this strategy. I'm with the belief, BPA. But hear me out. In the free agency, that is where you can handle your need. Regardless of how we look at it, we need help in 2 major categories on this defense. 2, interior defensive lineman, safety. Now, if you so happen, and of course defensive back, maybe I'll rank them in a sense. 1A, 1B, interior defense, safety. 2 would be defensive back. You if you can find that in the free agency. And I ain't talking about in the latter part of the free agent, like week 5 or week 6 of the free agency, however long free agency period lasts. Well, it lasts forever, but you guys get what I'm saying, right? Early. You got to get early and often. And then linebacker will be an issue that we will have to resolve in free agency. On the offensive side, the 2 sides of the coin, on the offensive side, we okay. In my books, we all right from the free agency aspect. Unless it's offensive lineman. For the offensive lineman situation, I would rather, and I told myself I wouldn't talk that much on offense, but on the offensive side of the ball, I would rather groom somebody in that area. Outside of, let's see, in the free agency, an offensive tackle guard, I don't know. I don't think that we've been doing okay with it, but it have not been one of those, oh wow, we got this guy and he's gonna make things happen for us. There's been guys that we've been grooming. And that's one thing that I can say with the Joneses, they did a decent job at. It's just Connor Williams, if they can just kick the brother as a tackle as opposed to being a guard, and then kick Lyle Collins back inside, then there would be a whole nother situation. But that's a story of a different day. Let's get back to defense though. Cowboys, you draft for BPA, but in the free agency, go take care of your needs. Let me know of your thoughts. Post me your concerns down below. That's been my time. I really thank you all for yours. And remember, you're listening to nothing but the best. Salute.